Hey guys, and today I'm going to tell you about the negatives of the Aussiedoodle dog. Here, this is my Aussiedoodle Teddy. He is about 8 months old right now, and as you can see, he's a little bit bored, so he pulled out his bedding from his crate and decided to chew on it. Yeah. So that's the first negative of having an Aussiedoodle. They are very intelligent, meaning that they're always looking for something to do. If you don't occupy them properly, they'll just find something to do themselves, like Teddy is right now. They'll just take things and try to play with them, or play with you. Yeah, it can get annoying sometimes, but usually if you have, for Teddy at least, if you have one good long walk each day, that'll be enough, because then I take him off the leash in the forest and he can run around and exert all his energy, and then he won't be as annoying later in the day when, as you can see right now, I didn't go, today I didn't go for a very long walk because it was pretty rainy. And now he's looking for something to do himself because he still has energy left, because the walk wasn't long enough for him to exert all his energy. Then the second thing is the coat. If you want to keep it quite short, like I have with Teddy, you have to groom your dog and cut the hair pretty regularly, at least every 2 to 3 months. It probably depends on, the dog that you have, but generally that should probably also be accurate for other Aussiedoodles. But if you want a more, teddy bear, shaggy kind of look, then, you probably have to cut the hair less, but you also have to brush it more frequently to prevent it from matting, and, it just won't look as nice if it's not brushed regularly. Then your Aussiedoodle is going to need pretty strong guidelines. If he's anything like Teddy, he questions when I say things like no to picking up random things off the street, or just general rules that we have in the house, like that he isn't allowed to go upstairs without permission, and just general things like that. And then he'll usually test my patience and just test if I really mean what I say. So they can be kind of stubborn. Sometimes I'll leave Teddy downstairs when he's sleeping for a little bit to grab something or just do anything upstairs, and then I'll come back downstairs and he noticed that I was gone, and he decided to do something that he wasn't allowed to do, like grab something off the table or just anything that he isn't allowed, because he noticed that I'm gone. So yeah, they're pretty clever, and they test your patience a lot of the time. The next thing is that they're not able to adapt to your lifestyle as well as other breeds, for example. As we also have a Yorkshire Terrier, he adapts to your lifestyle very well, which is also why we got him in the first place as our first dog for our family, because you can stay at home all day and he'll be fine with that, playing or cuddling with you all day long, but he still needs a walk at one point in the day, but the rest of the day he doesn't really care what we're doing. But Teddy, or an Aussiedoodle, they have more kind of requirements of you. For example, going on more walks or just more active things, because they are a pretty active dog, as both the parents are pretty active as well. As the poodle is a water retriever, so they are pretty active and sporty, even though they might not seem that way. And the Australian Shepherd, obviously, is a herding breed, so they're pretty active. And run around herding most of the day if that's what they do and they don't come from a show line. But yeah, so Aussiedoodles need a lot of action throughout the day so that they can get out their energy, but they also love meeting other people and other dogs and other animals, like cats and horses and just anything. They don't like being at home for too long, even though it's no problem leaving Teddy home for a few hours, but they don't like not having anything happen, when I'm just in my room, on my laptop or whatever. He gets bored, and you can see that he's walking around like a lion in a cage, just circling and circling and looking for something to do. And that's when I know, that's also the point right now, that's when I know when he wants to go on a walk, or I need to occupy him somehow because he's bored. Obviously, Aussiedoodles are also a mixed breed, so they're not purebred, but they're a mix of two purebred dogs, at least if you have first generation Aussiedoodle. So you don't really know what you're getting into because you don't know the parents, and the thing is that you don't know which traits they're gonna get. Obviously, lots of breeders that just are trying to market their puppies, they're gonna say, oh, the Aussiedoodle puppies, they are guaranteed to have no herding instinct and this and that, and they're gonna have very curly hair, or they make all these false promises that they often have no control over or can't keep. Of course, that doesn't count to all breeders, because some have, some do DNA tests and check when to, did you hear something? Check if, two of their dogs are gonna have puppies, what the chances are of getting different color combinations and things like that. And most of the first generation Aussiedoodles are gonna have this, he looks like he has straight hair, but he actually has curly, like not really curly. In some parts he has curly hair, like here it's pretty curly, and here in front it's also pretty curly, but it's actually pretty wavy. But in general it looks pretty straight, but if you come closer it looks wavy, the individual hairs. Most of them, at least. Some of them are also straight. But the point I'm trying to make is that you don't really know what you're getting, because you don't know the parents, first of all, and you also don't know what traits they're going to get from each of these parents. Because if you get a purebred dog, there are certain standards that they have, like the poodle is going to have curly hair, and the Australian Shepherd is going to maybe have a herding instinct, depending if he comes from a show line or if he doesn't, or he has a will to please. Those are common things for those certain breeds, but because the Aussiedoodle is not a breed, but it's a mixed breed, you don't really know what you're getting. It's more a surprise, which personally I'm fine with. I don't mind having a little surprise. He's looking out the window. That's also something he enjoys. So if you have a window spot, that would be ideal for your dog. I know my other dog also loves looking out the window during the day and just watching people or watching other dogs go by, or all those kind of things. That's just entertaining for them. And then the last point, which I already kind of mentioned, is that they have a lot of energy, which I kind of love and hate, because I love, taking him out and bringing him in the action and taking him, jogging or whatever. Just something that's fun, or even just taking him on a long walk, because he has so much energy that's possible, which, isn't ideal if you have a low energy dog. So yeah, I kind of love and hate that he has a high energy demand, Because on the one side, you can take him to do lots of things and take him on adventures, take him to the water, take him playing with other dogs, and then he'll, you know, run around with other dogs and have lots of fun. And he can do that for a pretty long time, which other low energy dogs might not want or do at all. But I also kind of hate it because, as you can see right now, he's kind of antsy and a little bit looking for something to do, because he's trying to get the rest of his energy out before, you know, the end of the day. So I kind of love and hate it, but I also like that he needs to go out every day for, you know, at least an hour to take out his energy, if you can say that, which also, you know, helps the owner or, you know, me to also go out and also be more active. So that's something I love about a dog that has a high energy demand. Yeah, I couldn't really come up with as many negatives as I could with the positives, so that might say something, but maybe I'm also a little bit biased because I have an Aussiedoodle and I love him very much. But yeah, those are the negatives that I could come up with. If you have any that I forgot to mention, which I doubt pretty heavily, you can let me know in the comments if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video on Sunday. Luckily I didn't hit the camera.